Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's review is going to be on the LA Girl Wander Lust palette. Now there are 12 shades in the palette and they are only numbered. Okay, they sell this at CVS Pharmacy. They have 3 palettes and they have 2 palettes that are blush and bronzer. One is for lighter tones, one is for deeper. The Wander Lust I like because of the colors. The other one was one that was more on the neutral side, and one was a darker reddish browns for someone with darker skin tones. Now, that is the unicarton. This is what it looks like. It's got a matte finish here. Sorry about my nails. I didn't do them yet, but you can also see some of the colors from this when I was swatching, and I've been trying to get it off. They do stain. So this is what it looks like in the back. Wander Lust eyeshadow palette. This was $9.99 in CVS. It comes with the protective thing. Yeah, sorry. And it has a mirror. As you can see, that does have a mirror. And this is what the palette looks like. Okay, let me show you a little bit more summer shimmers. Some are mattes, and they're very, very pretty. Now, what I'm going to do is show you the swatches. This is the first one, number 2, number 3, number 4, 5, 6, 7 really hardly came out, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Sorry, let me do it this way. Okay, next time I'm going to do the swatches over this way, but that's what it looks like. The blues and the greens do, the blues and greens do stain. Some of the others, there's a lot of shimmers, matte, a lot of shimmers, but some of them, and this is the first one, it's hard to pick up. But I have been using this. Like I said, the blues and the greens do stain like heck. Okay, let me just show you one. I'm going to do a little. Now they swatch on your fingers okay. They swatch on here okay. This one is the, okay, it is this one. This one swatch is really nice. Some of them are powdery, but they can swatch crappy. Like they always say, swatches can be really good and really bad. You can have great swatches on your arm and on your fingers, and you're like, oh, this palette's going to be great, which has happened to me. And then you go to put them on your eyes, and you're like, where the heck is everything? Or you can have terrible swatches, and you're like, oh my god, what did I do? I bought this palette and it's crappy. And then you put it on your eyes, and you're like, wow. Because putting it on your eyes with an eyeshadow primer or concealer, and then putting the product on is a lot different with the oils here than they are with the oils on your fingers and the oils on your hands. And this is with no primer. This is plain skin. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep my eyes with a little bit of concealer, and I'm using a NYX Cosmetics foundation brush because I like it, and it really gets in there good, and it helps. Now, if you're wondering about my eyebrows, the video below this was an eyebrow demonstration with Jovia's eyebrow retractable pencil, and I have a tip in there and a trick on what to do with this eyebrow and how it come out this way, and how this one came out a lot more faded and patchy. So please watch that video down below. And the video then below that is the concealer LA Pro an orange, and how I put it on, and how I used two different kinds of concealers to pat it out so you can't see the yellowness and the dark, some of the darkness I have under. And as you can see, this has been almost an hour for people who watch my other video. And look at how it is. It's still not tacky, and it's still not sticky, and it looks really darn good, and you don't see any of the orange. Okay, so tap this and blend it. Okay, I'm going to use a couple colors just to show you what they look like. Now, I'm not saying they aren't patchy. I'm not saying that they aren't a little on the quality is not great with every shadow, but I've had worse eyeshadows and I've had better eyeshadows. But for $10, I can use this, and I will keep it. I won't return it, and I will use it. There are some shadows in here that I really like, which I will use. And then there's some that I won't ever use, and maybe when I get tired of it, I'll pass it on to my daughter and let her use it up. You know, so you can always do that. Now, I'm going to be using multiple different brushes. I'll have them listed below. These are real Techniques. Everybody knows them. Most of the, sorry about the, it's got like a bluish haze on it, and I don't know why, but it's clean. It's stained. I've had these for a few years. Real Techniques. Okay. This one is a, I know this one was a Luxie brush I received in one of the BoxyCharms. This one is a nice blending brush. And this one is a, also Luxie from 2 months ago. They had the pack in my videos. It was like 3 or 4 brushes, and they're deluxe specialty by Luxie. There was a few of them in there, and I know I have, yeah, I have, this one came in a set, and I know I have the other one. This came with this set, and I'm sure I have some other in the other container in one of my other brushes. I know this came like 2 or 3 in a set, and the other ones are over there somewhere. But so these are also Luxie. This I like to take this brush when I'm, after I put it on and you don't want to create any harsh lines and you want to use something clean to blend. That's what this one is good for. So let me see, instead of using the blues and greens, I'm going to use the, I'm going to wash this off anyways, but I'm kind of in a mood for this. I'm kind of in a mood for this brow. But the blues and greens I have used, and like I said, they do stain, but they are pretty. I'm not one that can practice a lot and put on like 3 or 4 eyeshadows and really get a crazy look. I'm not that great. So what I'll do is with some of these, I'll use like 2, you know, in an accent or something. I'll do, you know, I'll do a darker one, and then I'll put a little light in the middle, and then I'll blend it out and put something up on something lighter here. I'm not an expert. I'm just a regular woman, and I don't use 3, 4, 5 colors, you know, like crazy colors on my eyes. I can't do all that. I'm not a makeup artist. Sometimes I'll just wear 1 or 2 colors, and I keep it basic, you know. Even if it's colorful, I keep the eye look basic because I'm not proficient in doing everything like you see all the other YouTubers doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this fluffier brush, which is a bigger brush, and there is no matte there's no matte transition. The only one that's in here is this brown. You know what, let me turn on my lights here and see if that helps. There's a matte brown right here, and this is also a brown. It's more like a brick red. And what I'm going to do is I'll use that other brown and put some of that. Yes, they are dusty, as you can see. You can see that. I've had worse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and you stamp and then I pull it a little bit as I'm stamping. I don't drag. Okay? Now, let me see if some of that, yes, it's on the brush, but it did come off. Now, I'm probably only going to use 2 colors. I'm going to use this, and I'll put something on a little lighter under on top of it, but I just wanted to show you that they are workable. See, I tap. They are workable. This would be okay for someone, a beginner it might be too patchy for a beginner, but if you just want a simple palette and you don't want to spend a lot of money, $10 does seem like a lot of money for a palette if it's mediocre, but you can also get some of these to work if you wet your brush, if you have a spray bottle of water or Fix Plus or any kind of setting spray, you can do a little of this and it would make the color a little more bold. Now, I'm going to add a little bit more. I just wanted to show you that there are reviews online saying, one said this palette was absolutely horrible, they were going to return it, and one said it's workable. To me, sometimes returning products is more of a hassle, and if I don't really like a product that I bought, and after a while I think it's too complicated to use because it's just too much work, I do pass it on to my daughter. And with her patience, she has a lot more patience to use it and to sit there and blend. Sometimes I just want to put it on and get out of here, but she has patience to a degree, and she can work. Now, does it look a little on the patchier side? Yeah, and if I used a little bit of setting spray on the brush and did it, it would look a little bolder. But I don't mind. I just wanted to show you. Now I'm going to use something a little bit on the, maybe on the lighter side right here. This, so it would be 1, 2, 3, number 4. And yes, they are patchy. I'm sorry. Yes, they are. Put something right here. As I'm patting, I'm also pulling just a little bit. But I did want to show you that it is a usable palette. Will I buy the others to try them and see if they are also usable? No. And I'm honest, because I don't want 3 palettes that I'm going to have eyeshadows that I'm going to have more of a problem with. Will I keep this palette and use it? Yes. Because the eye look is not that hard to achieve. And you just blend, and most of the time, I do have some time to do this. If I wanted to just throw an eyeshadow on and run out the door, I would use better ones like my ColourPop, where the payoff, or Emily Noel's Makeup Revolution palette. I would throw that on and it just glides on and you never have patchiness. It's just phew, out the door. This, spending a little bit more time and keeping it there we go. Now, I'm going to look in this mirror because seeing in my tablet is not always easy for me. Okay, sorry. It looks a lot darker in the mirror than it does on the tablet. And I'm sorry for that because my tablet doesn't have the best pixels and I am using natural lighting. How does that look? It looks a lot darker in the mirror. And yes, there is some fallout. I have some fallout which I would just hit with a beauty sponge because I have concealer on. I would probably use this. I would use this palette first before putting on any of my. You can always take something. You can always take a brush and sweep it away very easily. There. There we go. And my concealer is intact. And what I would do is take this and go over it. Just clean up the harsh edges. Let me use my, sorry you'll see me looking over. I'm using my mirror. There we go. And then I would take a accent color and I would do over here over the brow bone. You know what? Instead of saying it, I'm going to do it. Now, number 1 looks pretty good. It is a shimmer. I'm going to show you right over. Now, some people would only go about halfway and go like this and do the brow bone. Sometimes I do the whole thing. I don't know if that's right. I see most people just take it like halfway and do it. Me, if I'm doing it wrong, I'm doing it wrong. It's something I want to do and it's preference. There we go. Gives it a little bit of, or I would take a highlight. My Lunar Beauty Mars highlight that I would use on my cheeks. I'd take a little bit and I would just go a little bit over this. There we go. It seems like it's showing up a little bit more, especially on the monitor. There we go. And use the other brush just to take away some of the rough edges. It looks a lot darker, a lot nicer. You can see in the monitor. I mean, it looks a lot better on in person. And this one has nothing. You know what I'm going to do? I have a couple of the brushes here. I'm going to show you what the blue, what the blue looks like. What number should I do? Which blue? Maybe I'll just use the green. I'll do it in my other eyebrow. I mean my other eye. Sorry. Yes, there is fallout. Yes, they are powdery. But let me see if I can. I'm just doing this to show you what it looks like and how quick it applies. Now, I am tapping, but I'm also tapping and working it across. Holy cow, that is a really, when I used this the other day, just a little bit over the, next to the other blue. It was very, very, it's a shine, it's a shimmery one, but it didn't look this shimmery because I'm using it all over the eye. Before I was just using a little bit the other day. I'm always tapping and pulling, okay? And holy cow. Oof. If I was going to use this just by itself, I wouldn't use it as much all over my eye. But I'm doing this for you as a demonstration. And showing you. Oof. Look at that color. Take a clean brush. And yes, I know I used it on the other one, but I don't have any of my other brushes right here next to me. Take it. And if you're going to use this alone, that'd be cool. Because I wouldn't want to put other colors with this and make it muddy. Because that's what happens when you're not an expert. I've muddied up colors before. Oof, look at that. You sweeping motions and just tapping to make it look less 70s disco ball-y. Oof, that color is intense. Ooh, look at that. Holy cow. So you can see it isn't, I don't see patchiness. And yes, there is fallout. So this is something I would do before, of course, you put on your makeup. Oof. And then if I wanted to take another, let me see if I have another brush. I really don't. All my other brushes are over there. And then maybe use something a little less, let me see, and use 12, 11, number 10, which is a matte. And maybe take this. And I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the eyes and how it looks a lot brighter on the eyes than it does during my swatch. So some of the colors do have payoff. The lighter ones you have to work with a little bit more. And I don't see a lot of patchiness. But when I was swatching it for my arm, there was patchiness. I had to go over it a couple times, I will be honest. I'm just doing sweeping motions, trying to make it less colorful or less severe. Now I know this looks ridiculous, but excuse me. I wanted to show you that it can look better on the eyes than in the swatches that I really had to go over. I had to go over multiple times. You know, I really had to go in, and they are powdery. But I wanted to show you that I don't have as much problems when you put it on, and I don't see patchiness, and the color is there. Some palettes, the color, when you're using it, the color fades. Yeah, a little patchiness, but at least in this monitor, but when I look at it in the mirror, I don't see the patchiness. But this is something I would play with the color. The color is there. So I want to thank you very much. Sorry about the video being so long. I wanted to just show you that this Wander Lust does have color payoff. The lighter ones, the lighter colors that are more, you know, shimmer, like number one takes a lot to try to use. And this number 12, it's this 12, when you look at it here, it's got like a purpley hue. And this gold was a little, doesn't come up as well when you swatch it. I really had to dig in there. And that's the last one, the one with the purpley hue, you could see it. And the first one, number one, there it is. Number one, I really had to go over like a lot just to get it to show up. So the palette is workable. I know I look ridiculous. The palette is workable, and it does, the color payoff is there. You just have to play and practice, and you know, be careful with the greens and the blues, because they do stain. The other day I used them and my eyes stained a little bit, but there's not, you just use some makeup oil, face oil, or just I know some people who just take a little olive oil and put it on a cotton swab, or put it on a cotton round, and then go like this and take it off. Oil will take off any, it will take off any stain, okay? So I want to thank you very much for watching this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe. Please tell me if you have any tips and tricks that you think that would help me as an older woman putting on eyeshadow or makeup, or any little tricks you've learned on the way. But this is the L.A. Girl Wander Lust. It was $9.99 in CVS. It's a decent palette. It's decent enough where I will not return it and I will use it. If I find I'm not really using it that much because I get bored sometimes with palettes, I will pass it on my daughter and she will use it, okay? Thank you very much for watching my videos, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.